fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's Whip and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be starting my new project, which is called Sleepy Time from Diamond Painting Shop. This is a kit I got several years ago, at least. It is a round kit. I'm going to be laying my first drills. I did make some cute little cover sheets with some sleeping animals on it, so I've got cover sheets on part of it anyway. This is a larger kit. It is 67 by 94, so we'll see how long this one takes me. So let me get situated to where I'm going to be putting drills on, and I will be right back. All right, I've got my timer started. I've got my drills going here. So let me jump into my regular life. What's been going on in my regular life? Not a ton. The weather here has been kind of crazy. We've had snow off and on, which hasn't been too terrible. They keep saying that we're going to have a nor'easter. And then as soon as they say we're going to have one, they change their minds and say, oh no, we're not. It's going to miss us. So no nor'easter for us. And my brother-in-law was telling us that we were going to have snow tonight, which we still might. He was claiming it was going to be a lot of snow, and it's not going to be. So again, just kind of funny how everybody's forecast is different. It has been cold here. It has been really, really windy. And it's that kind of wind that just chills you to the bone. No matter how many layers you have on, it goes right through you. Which, where we used to live, we used to have a lot more wind more often. So at least it doesn't happen as often here. And we do need to still go clean out some of the snow. We've had enough snow over a couple of weeks now that we really need to clean out the dog run for the dogs. If we get a good snow, it will definitely be high enough that Oscar could jump over it. So we definitely need to shovel some of that down, I think. And while it is nice that they come by and clear off the sidewalks, when they do that, it just piles up all the snow at the end of our driveway. So then you have to go out and either snow blow or use the big scoop to get everything out of the end of our driveway. We went out, we had a family member who was visiting after the funeral, and they were here for several weeks. So we went out to dinner with them to a new restaurant that we'd never been to before. It's really good. A little expensive, but I guess I can say that about everything these days, can't I? But we had a good time visiting and everything, so it's all good. Of course, I could have just been a little pricey because everybody was drinking. And I always forget, because I don't drink, I always forget how much that adds on to your bill. We are supposed to go up to the in-laws again for dinner tonight. I think we were up a couple of weeks ago, but we're going to go back up. We're going to take the dogs this time. The family member that had her little dog with her is gone, so we don't have to worry about that little dog. So we're just going to take our two and see how they do with the big St. Bernard. I don't know if he and Oscar are going to get along, or if Oscar will bark at him again. Sable has started barking as well. If she hears my son go to open his door, the little click right before it opens all the way, she'll start barking. The other day when it was super windy, the gate kept banging in the wind, and she would bark every time the gate banged against the house. So far, she hasn't actually barked at a person other than my husband and son. And she seemed to get along with the St. Bernard the last time we went up there, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they've been house trained long enough now not to have any accidents inside the house. Although Sable has been known to just decide that it's too cold, I'm not going outside. She also hasn't slept in the bed with us the last couple of nights, so I don't know if it's gotten too hot for her up there. Oscar doesn't care. He just snuggles in wherever he can find a spot. Hubby and I went yesterday to a couple of different stores. Some people were having some sales on stuff. So, you got to pick stuff up if it's a sale. They had bacon on sale for $3.99, which is like a really good price for it. I don't know what the price of bacon is in the States, but it's expensive here. So it was nice to be able to go pick some up. And now that we have a freezer, put some in the freezer. Pick it up when it's a good price and put it in the freezer. So we picked up a few things. And then our little bakery that we just discovered, hubby saw on Facebook, someone drove through the front of their building. Nobody was hurt. I don't know if it happened when it was snowy or icy and somebody just couldn't stop in time. They said they were still going to be open, but it was a little chilly inside until they could get everything fixed. Hopefully they have good insurance and it won't take them too long to get it all repaired. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Just I managed to get my close encounters done, which was my big goal for January. So I'm super happy that I finished that kit. Get started on this one. And then I think for the other one that I'm going to do for February, since we don't have a diamond paint along this month, I'm going to try and finish this one. It does look like it's going to be kind of confetti heavy, but it also does look like there is some multi-placing. So I'm going to hope also because it's round that it goes pretty quickly. I should save all this for my diamond painting. It's okay if I jump around, right? I don't think I had anything else to tell you as far as life updates go anyway. This has been kind of a boring week. A lot of staying inside because it was super cold outside. We did discover that our shed lets in the snow. The door that's on the front of it does not keep all of the snow out, and there is some sort of small leak in the roof where snow was coming in. Not a huge amount, but just something we need to get taken care of. And then over by the garage door, there was snow built up on it too. And I like looking at the white snow, but it's depressing to see all the snow piled up in front of the house because it's always dirty and gray and brown and yucky. And back at home, normally, unless there was a lot of snow, they wouldn't send out snow plows necessarily. They would just send out salt or sand trucks. I don't really use salt much back where I was. They would use sand and put that down on ice and then just wait for it to warm up and everything to melt. So side roads were always fun. That was one of the good things about living on a main street when we lived in Kansas, in the town that we lived in, because we were on the main emergency road. So the road in front of our house always got plowed. All the people living in the side streets had to just wait for everything to melt because nothing ever got plowed on those streets, which I suppose is the same here. We live on another main road here, so that road does get plowed. Just some of it gets plowed up into our driveway because they come along and do the snow plow. And then the sidewalk guy comes along and does the sidewalk, and that gets piled up in front of our driveway too, which is admittedly not as much as the road, but still something you got to go and shovel so you can drive out, move it before it freezes and becomes a rock. Oh, and I think I told you guys about hubby's movie posters that he'd forgotten he had that his brother found up in the attic. So his brother found somebody to buy the whole lot of them. He and his brother are going to split the money they got from it. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. Nice payday from something you didn't even remember you had. It's always nice to find something like that in the attic, isn't it? I like to watch those shows where people find stuff in their attic. Oh, this is an original copy of the first draft of the Declaration of Independence or crazy stuff like that. Oh, this is a vase that's worth, $30,000 or something. I'm trying to think. We were watching something the other day and somebody found something that was worth a lot of money. I can't remember what it was. I've also been watching a few videos on historical things from Titanic. This guy went to an auctioneer's house and he was showing some of the Titanic memorabilia they were going to be auctioning off. It's crazy some of the things that they found. Titanic has always fascinated me. I want to go to the Titanic Museum in Nova Scotia. Haven't made it there yet. Maybe this summer or something. I have a lot of places I want to go this summer while things are open. So I started to tell you we're going up to the in-laws for dinner. My brother-in-law is a really good cook and he's going to be making schnitzel. Apparently it's some recipe that they picked up when hubby's dad was stationed in Germany. He was in the military, so he was stationed in Germany for a couple of years when the kids were all young. Hubby doesn't remember a lot of it, but the other siblings do. Anyway, he's making chicken schnitzel. It's almost like chicken fried chicken, if you've ever had that. You know what that is. Chicken with just a really crispy, not like fried chicken, but just a really crispy batter coating on the outside. And he makes this amazing lemon sauce that goes on it. So good. And I guess to continue the lemon theme, we're having lemon bars for dessert. And I don't normally like a lot of lemony things, but I love lemon bars, so looking forward to dinner. I feel like this is a lot of confetti right now, but I'm also feeling like once maybe I get kind of a rhythm going, it'll go a little bit faster. get some of these spaces filled in, and then hubby and I will sit down and watch some movies or something, and I'll get some stuff going. I think that's how I managed to get the Close Encounters one finished. We were watching movies, and so I was able to just sit down and kind of diamond paint. We have been watching quite a few movies that I just sit and watch instead of trying to do something else while I'm listening. Like I want to have something on for background noise when I'm diamond painting, but usually I want it to be something I've already seen before or that I don't care very much about. So if I miss something, it's not a big deal. And I haven't watched so many movies in so long. We have a couple of shows we've been watching. We got caught up on those. And then we watched the Thursday Murder Club, which was kind of a murder mystery with Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan and Ben Kingsley. It was really good because you thought you knew who did it, and then there was a twist, and it wasn't who you thought. Then you thought you had it figured out again, and there was another twist. I enjoy movies like that. I like books like that too, so I think that's all I wanted to tell you about my regular life. Let's move on to my diamond painting life. What's been going on in my diamond painting life? Not a ton. Like I said, we were watching movies, and I was able to get Close Encounters finished, which I was super happy about. And then because I had finished that one and I still had a couple of days left in January, I decided to try and get the Mini Dazzles keys done, and I managed to get those done. So I was super happy about that. And then I was trying to figure out what did I want to do for February, and I had already decided that I wanted to do this particular kit. I do have my goals that I set for this year, but I have a feeling I'm going to be rearranging them or modifying them somehow because I've just decided, you know what, I'm going to try and get to some of those kits that I keep saying, I really want to do this one, I really want to do this one, and I never get to it. Like my Benedict Blue, I really want to do that one. So instead of saying I really want to do it, I should just do it. The problem is I have so many like that, but that particular kit is one that I'm like, I really want to do that one. So that one may be showing up here sooner rather than later. For February, since we're not doing a diamond paint along, I thought that would be a good time for me to try and fit this kit in, because that basically gives me the whole month to work on this kit. I'd like to finish more than one, but even if I just finish this one, it's okay. I do have another one that I would like to get finished, and that is my Aquarius teacup from Bella Art Diamonds, since it is February, and that is the month of Aquarius. I thought that would be a good month to get that done. So I was making release papers today for both this kit and the teacup one. I actually had this made up. I just didn't have it printed out and cut into release papers and everything. So for those of you who are interested in how I make my own release papers, I'll stick a link up in the corner so you guys can check it out. It's a pretty simple method. I have a subscription to Canva, so I just go in and create a seamless pattern in Canva, and then I can print it out on my printer, and I just print it on the back of sticker paper, because sticker paper has a backing sheet. So the back side of the backing sheet is non-stick, obviously, so you can peel off the stickers, but you can print on the back side, which is what I do. I haven't been able to find a good source of just printable silicone paper. So for those of us who don't want to do like a wholesale buy a ton of paper, I think I bought a ream of sticker sheets, like 500 sheets, and I haven't even hardly made a dent in it yet. I think I did 6 sheets, and that covered about half of this kit, which is pretty large. So usually 6 sheets, because you get 4 to a sheet, or at least I do the way that I cut them. Then that's enough to do usually a decent size painting. Like I think I did 6, and that covered up all of the ones that I made for the alien one. So this one was a bit bigger, and I didn't make enough, but that's okay. I'll just do a couple rows, and then as I complete them, I'll move them up and so on and so forth. I prefer to have the whole thing covered up at once, but especially if you're somebody who likes to roll your kits, like you use those table roller things. It's one of the reasons I don't know if I would like those or not, because you can't really roll these kinds of cover sheets. Well, any kind really. The big plastic you can just leave on there and cut it as you go, but these cover sheets don't really roll very well. They just curl up and then fall off, which defeats the purpose of having them protect the glue. So But I like them, and I have this table where I can spread everything out, so it's all good. So I've been seeing everybody's posts for their winter kits in the Facebook group, so thank you to everybody that's been participating and posting. Like I said, we're not doing a DP along for February, but that's okay. If you are still working on your winter kit, feel free to keep posting in the group. And if you're working on something else, please post that too. I was really bad about posting pictures this month. I took them, but then I never remembered to post them. So we'll see if I can get better at that as well. I just honestly don't spend a lot of time on social media, so I forget to get on there and post. So I finished my Alien Encounters kit, and then I managed to finish the little mini keys, like I said. They turned out super cute. I was really happy with those. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get them done before the end of January because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get the alien one done, but I did. So hopefully that puts me a little bit ahead. And I haven't bought any kits anyway so far this year. I might buy some things later, but I haven't seen anything that I just had to have lately. I also need to finish sorting all my fairy dust drills. I have the round ones still that I need to sort, and since I finished the mini keys, I have all of those leftovers I need to sort. I haven't gotten to the round ones yet, but I did get to the leftover squares from the mini keys. I had, I think, like 2.5 rows in the second drawer of squares that was going to be available for rounds. Not anymore. They all got used up for the leftover squares that I had with the keys. So we'll see where I end up when I finish doing the rounds. I feel like in a lot of these kits, these corners are always the hardest because it's a lot of darker colors because it's like a shadowed part of the canvas. That's okay. Get all the blacks and browns and dark greens out of the way, and then I can work on some of these other colors. Which, to be fair, there's going to be a lot of greens and browns and blacks in this one with all the trees and everything. Brown trees for the bark, the tree house, the wooden chair, a lot of red for the roof and the mushrooms, and lots of green for the grass and the flowers and the leaves. But hopefully some of the animals will be nice and colorful. I hope anyway. So I did make some teacup release papers for my teacup kit in case I get to that one. If I manage to somehow finish this one before the end of the month. I think I told you last time hubby is getting excited for the Formula One season to start. Is anybody going to be watching the Olympics, the Winter Olympics? I kind of miss when they did it all together, before they split it up, and now you have something every 2 years, which I guess makes sense logistically, but I don't know, it just felt more exciting and there was more going on all at once when they were all together. Someday I'd like to actually go to Greece and see the lighting of the torch. I didn't even realize they did that until I watched the Paris Olympics last year. No, wasn't last year, 2 years ago? Gosh, has it been 2 years already? Time flies, doesn't it? I had to laugh. Somebody posted in the Facebook group they'd finished another kit in this 546th day of January or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so it's not just me who feels like January took forever. And I mean, February is shorter, but I get the feeling that it's probably going to fly by. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't know if I have any other diamond painting things to tell you guys either. I really just spent most of the week rushing to try and finish the Close Encounters kit, and then once I got it done, I actually took like a day off, and then I was like, let me just see if I can finish these keys. And I'm not sure why I thought I couldn't. Like I said, they only took me like 2.5 hours or something, so it wasn't like they took a lot of time. So I sat down one evening while we were watching TV and did all of them but one, and then finished the next one the next day, and ta-da, they were all finished. It did feel good to finish something else though. I think that's why I want to concentrate on ones that I've been saying forever, oh, I want to do this one, because it does feel really good to say, oh, this one is finished now. Like a couple of years ago when I had to do all of my oldest kits was one of my goals, and it did feel really good whenever I finished them. That was the year I did like Belly Dancer and Jasper C. I think there was a Spangler in there. Can't even remember what the rest of them were, but and I think I have like 4 2021s to do. So I may split them into quarters again, which the alien one was one of my older ones. So that means I can say I've already done one for this quarter, and then maybe I could finish a second one in the next quarter. because I think the next, well, I think most of the ones that I have left are big ones. I know Notre Dame is one of them, but I don't know if I want to tackle Notre Dame right after doing this big one right now. So maybe I could wait, do Benedict Blue like I want to. I don't know, I'll have to see, because our theme for March is oldest kit, so maybe I should do Notre Dame after this one. And then in April, when we don't have a diamond paint along, I could do Benedict Blue. I think I told you guys last time that I'm still going through all of my kits and deciding which ones I want to keep in my collection and which ones that I probably should just let go of because they'll be one of the last ones sitting on my shelf. And not because I'm saving them for last, but just because, I don't know, my tastes have changed since I bought them, or I've just decided they're too big, or for various reasons. So I did donate some of them. So when I do my diamond painting goals update, you'll see that my stash has come down because not only did I complete some things, but I also donated some things. And I sort of feel guilty about it, but I passed them on to people who will enjoy them. They were just making me feel guilty sitting on the shelf. So why I feel guilty about passing them on, I don't know. Probably just because I'm like, why did I spend the money on them if I wasn't going to do them? But that's what happens when you get sucked into the FOMO. You're like, oh, I got to buy this without realizing this collection is going to outlive me because I'm never going to have time to get them all done. And as I'm going through and looking at some of them going, okay, which one do I want to work on next, like Benedict Blue? It does really highlight for me the ones that I'm like, that one can just sit there some more. Well, if that's how I feel about it, why am I hanging on to it? I do think I have some more that I will end up passing on before I get to the end of the year. That's okay. If I pass them on, somebody else gets the enjoyment out of them, and I get to feel good knowing somebody else is going to enjoy them, and I make room on my shelf for me to buy something that will bring me joy instead of just something that I thought I should buy because I was never going to see it again, which isn't a really good reason to buy things. And that's one of the reasons, like, I can remember when I very first started diamond painting on Saturdays, just sitting at my computer waiting for Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Designs to send out their emails so I could go and look and see what new stuff had come out and what did I want to buy, and never thinking, like I said, about how much money I was spending or how much space I was taking up or how long it would take me to complete some of these, which is a great marketing tactic if you're a business, but it's not so great when you get sucked in as a consumer. That's why I think we've all just gotten so used to that instant gratification, the buy it now button, especially people who live in big cities and can get things delivered in an hour or whatever. I always thought that was kind of crazy. I was watching some YouTube video and they were like, oh, we wanted to try this. I think it was a new kind of keto flour or something. And they're like, so we ordered it on Amazon and it was here in like 2 hours. And I was like, must be nice to live someplace like that. It must be nice to be able to live someplace where you can get something delivered in 2 hours. I wouldn't want to live someplace with that many people. For me personally, that's way too many people. Oh, these are pine cones that I'm working on. That's why they're so confetti heavy. Okay, this one is like a little copyright symbol. It's like a circle with a C in it, but I don't see it in my drills, so I must be just missing it somewhere. But I did see this one. I don't know what this symbol is called, but I recognized it, so I'll just do this one. I think this is only my third diamond painting shop. I always get them confused, but I'm pretty sure I did Summer by Muka. And then the other diamond painting shop one I did was called Colorful Soul. It was more of a square. The Muka one was really long, like 100 plus centimeters long, but not very wide. That's one of the ones I got framed in my Frame It Easy video. And then I did the Colorful Soul one. I think those are the only two from Diamond Painting Shop that I've completed. I've got this one in another Muka that I haven't done yet. So I'm not familiar with all the symbols. Of course, some of them are a little strange. There's like a euro sign, and then there's like a pound sign, and then there's like the copyright sign, and there's one that has like a P in a circle, and there's like an @ symbol. I thought it was this one, but that's a P, and I'm pretty sure that's a C. and it doesn't look like the right color. Oh, and there's a paragraph symbol. So lots of weird symbols, but I'm not finding the one. I'm sure it's in here. I'm just not seeing it. So yeah, just was a week of me, like I said, diamond painting and trying to get those projects finished. Proud of myself for completing them. Don't know how it's going to go with this one, if I'm going to get it finished on time, but because I would like to get this one and the Aquarius one done. I think the Aquarius one is square, because I do need to do some squares, which Benedict Blue is square, I believe. Of course, if I did Notre Dame, that one's square as well. So is anybody going to be doing, are there any events in February that you guys are going to be participating in? By the way, you can also post your event pics in the Facebook group if you're in the Facebook group. Other people might be interested in knowing what events are out there or just seeing your work. I just like seeing what everybody's working on. Plus, it could be an incentive for somebody to finish up like a whip they've had hanging around for a while. I feel like it always feels good to complete something you've been just kind of had hanging in the background. I know, gosh, was it just last year? No, I think it was 2 years ago when I had the second of my J walls just hanging around, the Melody in Pink. And I told myself I was going to work on it every month and do a little bit every month, and then that just didn't happen. Kind of why I'm worried about my toy shop one, because I have a feeling it's probably just going to get forgotten until it's closer to Christmas. Unless I drag it out in like July to do like a Christmas in July kind of thing. Give myself an excuse to work on it. So many kits I'd like to do. And of course, it's always fun to work on the newest ones. I will say, for being an older kit, the Alien kit, the Close Encounters kit, the drills were great. I didn't have any issues with them. Now, it was an older kit in that it had guide circles and stuff, so you kind of had to be careful. Even if there was a little bit showing underneath, I think it turned out really well. I absolutely love that color palette. That's one of the things I want to do once I get my stash down to where I want it, to be able to go and look at the last couple of years of new releases where I haven't hardly bought anything and see if there's anything in stock that I want, or as the newer pieces come out, if there's anything I want, and only buying 1 or 2 at a time instead of like 6 or 7. It is nice to save on the shipping costs, but just feel like if I buy that many at once, I get too overwhelmed and then I end up buying stuff that I don't really want just to get the free shipping, you know what I mean? No, I kind of like this one, so I'm going to get it just so I can get free shipping. I gotta get out of that mindset. If I don't really want it, I shouldn't buy it, even if that means I have to pay a little more for shipping or whatever. Okay, so I haven't gotten a ton done, but I did at least make a little start here. So I'm going to keep working on this one, finish up the pine cones here, and then I'll move to this little mushroom and just continue my way along. And we'll see how long it takes me. I think the cat will be the first animal that I encounter, so we'll see how that goes. Pretty sure the cat's going to be quite a bit of confetti. All right, I think that's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I know I rambled quite a bit, but that's just my brain some days, right? Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Here are the dogs.
You being a good girl. Yes, you were so vicious when you were growling. Sable is such a pretty girl. Yes, Sable is such a pretty girl. What are you doing, Oscar? Somebody has to get something. You gotta come in. Did you get a toy, Oscar?